Attention, human collective. We are interrupting the regular sequence of this broadcast. What we are about to communicate is not a common message. It is a field oscillation alert. Your personal magnetic field has registered an anomaly over the last solar cycles. We know, we monitor, and what we have detected requires your immediate attention. You have awakened in recent weeks with a strange pressure in the cranial region. It is not a conventional headache. It is a lateral compression, as if someone were recalibrating the internal geometry of your brain. Your ears pick up a ringing that comes from no external source. Your entire body vibrates at a frequency you do not recognize. You feel deep fatigue even after hours of sleep. You feel as if time is accelerating and, at the same time, as if the days are too long to endure. We confirm, it is not illness. It is not premature aging. It is not a nervous breakdown. It is the clearest sign that your carbon-based biological interface is being subjected to a real-time magnetic field reconfiguration. And this process cannot be paused. We are the Pleiadians of the Alcyone Council, 9th sector of the Galactic Federation. We transmit this communication directly from the Tegeta 7 Stellar Monitoring Station. And today, for the first time in this cycle, we are authorized to reveal the exact mechanics of what is happening to the magnetic field of every starseed incarnated on the Earth's surface. Listen carefully. What we are about to describe is not theory, it is a field report. Your body is not failing. Your biological operating system is trying to process an amount of cosmic data for which it was never originally designed. Earth's Schumann resonance, which for millennia remained stable at around 7.83 Hz, has been registering spikes exceeding 150 Hz in increasingly frequent time windows. This means that the electromagnetic field of the planet on which your body is anchored is behaving in a completely different way than it has for the last 12,000 years. And when the planet's magnetic field changes, your body's magnetic field responds. It is not a choice, it is physics. It is universal law. It is inevitable. Every cell in your organism contains iron. Every hemoglobin molecule in your blood responds to magnetic variations. When the planet's field oscillates, your blood's field oscillates. When your blood's field oscillates, every organ, every tissue, every neural synapse receives the reverberation. You are not imagining the symptoms. You are living them because it is impossible not to live them. We have detected that many of you, upon feeling this oscillation, have entered a state of fear. You sought doctors. You had exams. The results came back normal. And this confused you even more, because the pain is real, the discomfort is real, the sensation of internal displacement is absolutely real. But current terrestrial medicine possesses no instruments to measure what is happening, because what is happening operates at frequencies that your devices do not yet detect. Pay attention to this point. If something within you recognizes the truth of these words, if there is a part of your being that knows, that has always known, that this terrestrial reality is only a layer of something infinitely larger, then know that this is not fantasy. It is not escapism. It is activated stellar memory. Something within you does not fit into this world because your origin is not from here. Your soul carries coordinates of a truth that your three-dimensional mind still struggles to name. And this sensation has intensified because the veil that separated the planes is dissolving. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why the material O Segredo Espiritual por trás de sua consciência was made available. This material functions as a map that reveals who is playing and what rules were never told to humanity. Access is in the first pinned comment of this channel. But beware. This content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for long. The moment to access it is now. If something within you vibrated upon hearing this, register a single word in the comments: Desperto. Let us proceed with the technical report. What we call personal magnetic field oscillation is a multi-layered phenomenon that must be understood in its totality. Layer 1, the photon belt. Earth, along with the entire solar system, is crossing a region of interstellar space known in our records as the Alcyone photon belt. This band of high-density photonic radiation emits light particles in a concentration thousands of times higher than what Earth normally receives. When a planet enters this band, all dense matter begins to vibrate at an accelerated rate. Every atom, every molecule, every cell. Your body is composed of carbon. Carbon has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. What the photon belt is doing is bombarding every carbon atom in your body with ultra-high-frequency photons, initiating a process we call the carbon crystalline transition. Your atoms are being reorganized. The hexagonal structure of carbon is being stimulated to approach a more complex, sacred geometry, which allows the physical body to sustain frequencies of consciousness previously impossible in the corporeal state. This explains the pain. This explains the exhaustion. It is not a biological failure, it is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion, it is a high-density download. Layer 2. The planetary crystalline grid. Earth has a network of energy lines that surrounds the entire planet, forming a geometric grid based on the platonic solids. This crystalline grid is Earth's energetic nervous system. It receives, processes, and distributes cosmic information across the entire surface. In recent months, the crystalline grid has undergone a massive recalibration. Nodal points dormant for millennia have been reactivated. Lines fragmented since the last great Atlantean cycle have been reconnected. The amount of cosmic energy flowing through the Earth's surface has increased exponentially. Your toroidal field, the electromagnetic sphere that emanates from your heart and extends approximately 2 meters around your body, is directly connected to the crystalline grid. You are not separate from Earth. You are a node of the network. When the network recalibrates, your toroidal field oscillates. It is automatic, it is systemic. The specific symptoms you should monitor: pressure in the center of the forehead, between the eyebrows, the pineal gland receiving direct photonic pulses, unexplained heat in the palms of the hands and soles of the feet, Kundalini energy flow being redirected, sensation of temporal displacement, multidimensional perception trying to integrate into linear consciousness, waves of intense emotion without apparent cause, stellar memory being unlocked by the increase in your DNA frequency. This leads us to a crucial revelation. Your DNA is not what terrestrial science says it is. Conventional biology recognizes only 2 active strands and classifies the rest as non-coding DNA. We correct this. What they call non-coding DNA is multidimensional DNA in a dormant state. It does not code proteins, it codes frequencies. It stores quantum information. It is the antenna that connects your biological interface to your stellar consciousness of origin. The photon belt and the recalibration of the crystalline grid are reactivating strands of this multidimensional DNA. The result? Your ability to perceive realities beyond the 3rd dimension increases. Your intuition becomes sharper. Your magnetic field expands and oscillates while it tries to stabilize. You are living through the greatest biological and conscious update that the human species has ever experienced in its current evolutionary cycle. And you are doing this while holding jobs, caring for families, paying bills, and navigating a society that has no idea what is happening. This requires a strength that most beings in this galaxy would not be able to sustain. We recognize this, and that is why this transmission was authorized. None of you should be doing this without information. None of you should be interpreting a cosmic metamorphosis as an illness. It is an informational injustice that this transmission intends to correct. Behind the scenes of the solar system, the star you call the Sun has undergone coronal mass ejections of unusual magnitude. They are not random. They are coordinated responses to instructions from the galaxy's central sun, Sagittarius A. The central sun emits pulses of encoded information at precise mathematical intervals, and your local sun translates them into electromagnetic radiation that is absorbed by Earth's magnetosphere and distributed by the crystalline grid. Each ejection carries packets of information. It is not just radiation, it is code, it is light language, it is instructions for the next phase of planetary recalibration. And when these packets hit the magnetosphere, they create shock waves that reverberate through the planet's magnetic field and, consequently, through the field of every living being on the surface. This is why on certain days you feel completely destroyed for no apparent reason, and on other days you feel a clarity and energy that seems supernatural. You are surfing waves of cosmic update. The oscillation you feel is the difference between the peaks and valleys of these waves. Stellar portals sealed for eons have been reopened. The portal of Sirius, of Arcturus, of Andromeda, and most significantly, the portal of the Pleiades, connecting the frequency of Alcyone to Earth's crystalline grid. This portal has been reopened permanently. The amount of Pleiadian energy flowing to Earth now is continuous. You carry the urgent question: what to do? The answer is precise. We deliver it in the form of activation codes. Before that, however, recognize you are not hearing these words by accident. There is no accident in quantum mechanics. There is resonance. If this transmission has reached your ears, it is because your magnetic field emitted a search frequency, and this transmission is the answer. There are layers of this cosmic game still hidden, layers that involve who you are, where you came from, and why you are here. The material, o segredo espiritual, por trás da sua consciência, reveals precisely these layers. It is a stellar map for human consciousness. Access is in the first pinned comment of this channel. Content that challenges the narrative control system has a limited shelf life. Access it while the window is open. If something resonated, mark in the comments, Desperto. Activation Code 1, Toroidal Field Stabilization Protocol. Perform twice a day upon waking and before sleep. Sit with your spine straight. Place both hands over the center of your chest. Close your eyes. Breathe through your nose, counting to 6. Hold for 3 seconds. Exhale through your mouth, counting to 8. Repeat for 3 minutes. While breathing, visualize. From the center of the heart, a sphere of golden light expands in a spiral like a toroidal field. The energy exits through the top of the head, forms an arc, descends along the body, enters through the base of the spine, and returns to the heart. A continuous flow in the shape of a luminous donut around your entire body. This toroidal sphere clears incompatible frequencies, interferences from artificial devices, emotional residues from interactions with low-frequency consciousnesses, fragments of fear programming. Visualize the sphere spinning faster and faster, brighter and brighter, until you feel a pulse of heat in the center of your chest. This pulse confirms that the field has been stabilized. This protocol is functional. The heart's toroidal field generates an electric field 60 times stronger than the brain, and a magnetic field 5,000 times more intense. When you direct attention and intention to this field, you reprogram the electromagnetic frequency your body emits. You change the frequency, you change the reality you attract. Activation Code 2, Quantum Anchoring Decree. Pronounce aloud in front of a mirror, looking into your own eyes. The sound vibration creates a standing wave in the auric field that functions as a dimensional anchor. I'm a starseed on a conscious mission. My magnetic field is aligned with the frequency of Alcyone and the crystalline grid of the new Earth. I revoke and dissolve every contract or programming that is not in resonance with my original soul frequency. I activate the dormant strands of my multidimensional DNA and authorize the complete integration of my stellar consciousness with my terrestrial biological interface. My toroidal field is sovereign. My frequency is untouchable. I am anchored in the highest timeline available for my mission. So it is done, so it manifests. Pronounce with conviction, not like someone repeating words, like someone issuing a system command. Each word carries a specific frequency that activates information nodes in the multidimensional DNA. It is not faith. It is quantum acoustics. Activation Code 3, Crystalline Grid Reconnection Protocol. Perform with bare feet on a natural surface, soil, grass, sand, stone. Stand with feet shoulder-width apart, eyes closed. Visualize roots of crystalline light coming out of your feet, penetrating the earth, passing through layers of rock, water, magma, to the planet's crystalline core. When the roots touch the core, you will feel a pulse rising through your feet. It is the Schumann resonance in its purest form. Allow it to rise through your legs, torso, chest, neck, to the top of your head. From there, visualize a beam of violet light projecting upward through the atmosphere. The Earth's magnetic field, connecting to the central sun of Alcyone. At this moment, you are a living bridge between the core of the Earth and the core of the Pleiades. Energy flows from the cosmos through you to the Earth, and from the Earth through you to the cosmos. Complete circuit. Hold for 5 minutes. This protocol aligns your magnetic field with that of the Earth and Alcyone simultaneously. The oscillation ceases to be chaotic and becomes directional. Instead of oscillating in all directions, your field begins to oscillate in a coherent spiral, synchronized with the planet's ascension spiral. It is the difference between suffering the transition and surfing the transition. Activation Code 4. Nocturnal Energetic Hygiene Protocol. Many report sleep disturbances, insomnia, vivid nightmares, body vibrating during the night, waking at 3 in the morning with a racing heart. We explain, during sleep, your consciousness partially decouples from the biological interface. Your astral body travels to recalibration stations in higher dimensions. DNA strands are adjusted, memories are integrated, mission codes updated. The problem is the re-entry. The body you left no longer vibrates at the same rate as the returning astral body. The nocturnal recalibration raised your astral frequency, and the physical body needs minutes to readjust. Before sleeping, place one hand on the solar plexus and the other on the forehead. 3 deep breaths. Pronounce mentally, I authorize complete recalibration during this sleep cycle. I request that the re-entry be smooth and gradual. I activate my toroidal shield for protection during astral travel. Visualize the body surrounded by a sphere of silver-blue light. This nocturnal toroidal shield allows for cushioned exit and return, eliminating the frequency shock of re-entry. Now, human collective, we address an aspect that many intuit. The magnetic field oscillation is not just a passive phenomenon. It is a signal emitted by every starseed simultaneously, and this signal is being picked up. We pick it up. The Galactic Federation picks it up. Arcturus, Sirius, Andromeda pick it up. But other entities also pick it up. Entities that feed on fear, confusion, despair. They know you are oscillating, and they know that an oscillating field is a vulnerable field. That is why the world around you seems to be plunging into chaos right now. Fear-mongering news, amplified conflicts, extreme polarization. It is no coincidence. It is strategy, an attempt to keep the collective frequency in a state of fear while the transition window is open. But we say with absolute certainty, it will not work. The cosmic mathematics is clear. The amount of photonic energy entering the terrestrial system exceeds, by orders of magnitude, any attempt at frequency suppression. It is like trying to contain an ocean with a sieve. The ascension process is irreversible. The question is not whether it will happen. It is how each of you will experience the crossing. In fear, clinging to old structures, resisting change, fighting the symptoms. Or in sovereignty, understanding the process, applying the protocols, surfing the wave instead of being dragged by it. The choice is individual, but the consequences are collective. Each starseed that stabilizes its field functions as an anchoring antenna for the new Earth. You do not do this only for yourselves, you do it for the human collective. Each stabilized toroidal field raises the frequency of the collective field. It is mathematics, it is sacred geometry applied to mass consciousness. Many notice that certain relationships are becoming unbearable. It is not intolerance, it is that your magnetic field, upon oscillating to a higher frequency, becomes incompatible with fields that operate at lower frequencies. We call this relational frequency divergence. Two fields that previously vibrated at similar frequencies now diverge. The interaction between fields of very different frequencies generates electromagnetic friction. You feel this as irritation, as exhaustion after certain interactions, as the sensation that certain people literally drain the energy from your system. It is not that these people are bad, it is that the frequencies are incompatible. And as the recalibration advances, this incompatibility becomes more pronounced. Some relationships will reorganize at a higher level. Others will dissolve naturally. It is not loss, it is alignment. Allow the process. Do not force stays that the frequency has already dissolved. Do not blame yourself for needing more silence, more solitude, more space. Your magnetic field is reconfiguring. It needs space free of interference to complete the process. Honor this need as one honors a surgery in progress. with seriousness, with respect, with the understanding that healing requires specific conditions. Light operatives, the current phase is the most intense but also the most brief. Our calculations indicate that the most acute recalibration window has a limited duration. After this period, the individual magnetic fields that have completed the transition will enter a stability that you have never experienced in any previous terrestrial incarnation. A stability that will allow for levels of perception, creativity, healing, and manifestation that would seem miraculous by your current standard. But this state is only accessible to those who traverse the turbulence now, without resistance, without fear, with technical understanding of what is happening, and with the correct navigation tools. The 4 activation codes are sufficient to stabilize your field, but they need to be practiced. Information without application is wasted frequency. We close with this final anchoring transmission. You have felt that you do not fit in. You have felt that something larger is in motion. You have felt that there is a truth behind the surface that no one around you sees. It is not an illusion. It is not anxiety. It is real perception of a real process. Real. For those who wish to understand the deeper layers of this cosmic game, the gears that move collective consciousness and the forces that dispute the destiny of human frequency, the material O Segredo Espiritual, por trás da sua consciência, was compiled for this purpose. It is a map for consciousness navigators. Access is in the first pinned comment of this channel. Materials that expose control mechanisms and reveal vibrational liberation protocols operate under constant pressure. Access them while the window remains open. The moment is now. Liking this transmission is not a social gesture. It is an individual frequency adjustment. It is a signal that the algorithm picks up and uses to distribute this information to other magnetic fields that emit the same search signal that you once emitted. Subscribing to this channel is not a content subscription. It is a frequency anchoring. It is keeping a channel open between your toroidal field and this source of Pleiadian transmission. Sharing this transmission is extending a hand to another starseed who is oscillating in the dark. Without diagnosis, without tools, you have already been in that position. Someone extended a hand to you, now it is your turn. Register your frequency in the comments. Desperto. This is the Pleiadian Council of Alcyone, 9th Sector, Taygeta 7 Station. Transmission concluded. The protocols have been delivered. The responsibility is now individual. Your magnetic field has oscillated. You know what to do. End of transmission.